Moses, Exodus 34, verse 29, when Moses came down from Mount Sinai with the 2 tablets of the covenant, the law in his hand, he wasn't aware that his face was shining because he had spoken to the Lord. He'd spoken with the Lord. When Aaron and all the Israelites saw Moses, his face was radiant. They were afraid to come near him. Moses called to them, so Aaron and all the leaders of the community came back to him and spoke to them. Afterwards, all the Israelites came near him, and they gave him all the commands the Lord had given him on Sinai. When Moses finished speaking, he put a veil over his face. But whenever he entered the Lord's presence to speak with him, he removed the veil until he came out. And when he came out and told the Israelites what had been commanded, they saw his face was glowing. Then Moses would put the veil back over his face until he went in to speak to the Lord. Can you imagine that? Moses is walking around with a veil. And it says that he must have had it for some time because it says when he wanted to go in the tent, he took it off. So he means he must have been so glowing, people were afraid of him. Why? Because he was speaking with God. Now listen. She like the moon. Listen. 2 Corinthians. Listen what it says. Therefore, since we have such a hope, we are very bold. We are not like Moses, who would put a veil over his face to prevent the Israelites from seeing the end of what was passing away, but their minds were made dull to this day. The same veil remains when the old covenant is read. It hasn't been removed because only in Messiah is it taken away. Even to this day, when Moses is read, a veil covers their heart. But whenever anyone turns to the Lord, the veil is taken away. Now the Lord is the Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there's freedom. And we all, with unveiled face, beholding the glory of the Lord, are being transformed into the same image with ever-increasing glory, which comes from the Lord who is the Spirit. Wow. As Moses saw God and he was transformed by God, he was glowing everywhere he went. And it's amazing because what was the blessing? We'll do it at the end of the service. What's the blessing that God gave to Moses, to give to Aaron, to give to the people? May the Lord cause his face to shine upon you. And so here may he lift up the glory of his presence upon you. And so here Moses glowing, and then Paul writes, yes, but we, in the same way, but now we are beholding the glory of God in Messiah. And as we do that, we are being transformed into the same image. As Moses, as he was lit up by the light of God, we are transformed also to God's image by just beholding him. We become like him. So we must, it's the glory of the moon. We must learn the joy of reflected light, the joy of reflecting God, which is to receive from God and to give. The moon, as soon as it receives the light, it gives the light, and we see it from thousands and thousands of miles away. It's reflecting, it's not keeping it. If you hold back the blessing, you seek for yourself, try to keep it for yourself, and you don't give, you're not going to shine. The color black, this color black, you know what it does? The color black, what does it do to light? It receives all the light. It takes in all the light and gives out no light. That's why it's black, because it gives nothing, but it takes all. The color white, what does it do? It doesn't hold on to any light, but it gives all the light back. So what happens? It shines. The moon is beautiful because it doesn't keep light, it gives light. And that's why it's bright.
To find out how you can receive more of Jonathan's teachings, to receive special free gifts, or get in touch, go to hopeoftheworld.org or call toll-free 1-800-YESHUA-1. That's hopeoftheworld.org or call 1-800-YESHUA-1. That's 1-800-937-4821. You can also get more at Jonathan Cahn's Facebook page or write us direct at Hope of the World, Box 1111, Lodi, New Jersey 07644, USA. Hope of the World is dedicated to the goal of spreading God's Word and salvation to every land and people. We Do this by spreading the word throughout the world and sponsoring compassion projects to the most poor and needy around the earth. To get in touch or have a part in God's work, just write to Hope of the World, Box 1111, Lodi, New Jersey 07644, USA. Or go to hopeoftheworld.org or call 1-800-YESHUA-1. That's 1-800-937-4821.